Hi, Estrella Roel here, and I'm standing outside in my yard with all my wonderful trees that I love. So I want to show you my trees, and I want to tell you a story about these trees. It's what we call stick season right now, but it's soon going to be spring, and all these trees will leaf out. They'll be beautiful with lots of shade and lots of oxygen. So I'd like to tell you a story about how my husband and I happened to buy this house. So before we lived here, we lived in a duplex. And the fellow who owned the other side of the duplex got two new roommates who smoked. And he also started smoking again since they were smoking. So I had three people next door to me who were just puffing away. And I would come home from work at night and my eyes would start to water and my throat would burn and my nose would stuff up, and I began to realize I was smelling the cigarette smoke. It was coming in through the other duplex into my half of this house. And so I went to him and asked him if he could please just smoke outside because I was having these problems. And I grew up in a household where both of my parents smoked, and as a result I had lots of allergies and respiratory illnesses. I was sick a lot as a kid because of this, and to this day I'm still very, very sensitive to cigarette smoke. So he said sure, they would try to do that, but that never really happened. So I would come home and experience all these symptoms, and I'd start to feel really, really angry. I felt like a victim. I felt helpless. I just really felt a sense of despair, and like I couldn't even be comfortable in my own house. And I was starting to read about the law of attraction about this time as well. And I finally realized that staying in this state of anger and upset was not helping me at all. So I asked myself this: well, if I don't want this, if I don't want this situation that I'm undergoing right now, what is it that I do want? What do I want? And I was able to flip that. Well, I want to be able to breathe fresh air. I want plenty of oxygen. I want to be able to relax and feel good in my own house at the end of the day. And I began to formulate a picture of what I would like. I would like a house that wasn't attached to anybody else. It was a standalone, one-family home. And I would like some space. I would like neighbors, yes, but I would like space. And just so that I could really make sure that I would have things in my own home the way I wanted them. And so now, when I started to notice symptoms flaring up, instead of getting angry, I would go to that happy place in my head, because my vision that I had for this wonderful home with fresh air and oxygen and other things that I added to it became such a strong vision for me. It became the happy place in my head. And so I would go there and I would play with that and feel delighted and think about how it feels to be in that place. And so, long story short, everything fell into place. I didn't know how when I started this vision, and when I started asking myself, what do I want, and putting my energy, focus, and attention there, I didn't know how it was going to happen, how it was going to come about, but it did. And yes, I had to take some action steps, but those action steps were easy because I'd laid the groundwork of putting my energy, focus, and attention on what I did want. So that's my tip for you today. When you find yourself in a situation where you don't feel good for any reason, ask yourself, well, I don't want that, so what do I want? And put your energy, focus, and attention on what you do want and play with it. Make it delightful. Think about having it already done and how you would feel, and make it your happy place. So that's my tip for today. Please practice this and see what happens, and be on the lookout for more tips like this. Thanks.